Welcome back. We are diving deep today into, well, a pretty challenging area of global e-commerce.
Absolutely. We're looking at vehicle imports specifically from the U.S. to Africa, focusing on Nigeria.
Yeah, and this market, historically, it's been, let's just say, fraught with risk.
Yeah.
Lack of clarity, sometimes outright fraud. It's
It
tough.
really is.
The company we're zeroing in on is MoldnFly. We've looked at the material, and it seems they've got a whole strategic playbook aimed at tackling this systemic doubt head-on.
Mm-hmm.
So our mission today, let's unpack the specific methods, the tech, the compliance, the partnerships that they're using to basically mandate trust. Okay, let's get into it.
Right, and the context here is just so crucial. If you're buying something as expensive as a car from overseas, the risk is huge.
Totally.
You're worried about opaque shipping, complex customs, and honestly, the basic fear that the car you paid for, well, it might not even exist. Or it's completely different.
Yeah, the nightmare scenario.
So what's interesting about MoldnFly's approach, from what we've seen, is they don't just pitch better service. They call themselves a comprehensive automotive trust platform.
That phrase really stood out, trust platform. It shits the whole frame, doesn't it?
It does. It's more than just selling cars. It's about building systemic confidence.
And their vision statement, it's incredibly bold. They actually say they want to end the era of automotive fraud in Africa,
Wow.
which they say delivers confidence, dignity, peace of mind, yeah, the whole package.
Yeah,
And it doesn't feel like just marketing fluff. It looks like it's baked into their operations.
exactly. And to manage that whole ecosystem, they've set up two main pillars, it seems. It looks like they're trying to control the vehicle's entire life cycle, not just the sale itself.
Okay, what are those?
So the first is MoldnFly Auto. That's the core platform for getting the vehicles, right? Sourcing, secure delivery, premium focus.
Makes sense.
But the second pillar, this is what really seems to back up that comprehensive trust claim, MoldnFly Parts.
Parts. Okay.
Yeah, a dedicated platform for sourcing reliable, used OEM parts, original equipment manufacturer.
Okay. Looking at this together, that parts division, that feels pretty revolutionary in this context.
Yeah.
And I can see why it matters for trust.
How so?
Well, think about it. What does that mean for the customer? It means MoldnFly isn't just selling you a car today. They're thinking about and supporting the maintenance for years down the line.
Right, keeping it running properly.
Exactly. By making sure you can get reliable, genuine OEM parts, they help prevent those long-term reliability headaches that often pop up with imported cars.
Which reinforces the quality promise of the initial purchase.
Precisely. It's like they're actively protecting your investment long after they've made the sale. It's a
Yeah.
much more holistic view.
And that holistic approach ties perfectly into the layers of protection they emphasize. The sources really stress this. These aren't optional extras, they're mandatory steps.
So it's not just talk about reliability.
No, it seems they're focused on engineering buyer protection into every single phase. It's built in.
Okay, let's break that down. Starting with the money, because that's usually the biggest worry for the buyer,
Yeah,
right?
definitely.
How do they stop you from sending money to, a ghost seller or paying for a car that doesn't exist?
They mandate escrow-protected transactions. This seems non-negotiable in their system.
Escrow. Okay, explain that simply.
Your money doesn't go straight to the seller. It doesn't even go into MoldnFly's main bank account right away.
Right.
It's held securely by a regulated third-party escrow service.
Like a neutral holding zone.
Exactly. And that money stays locked down until some really critical things happen. The vehicle has to be physically inspected by someone independent.
Okay.
The title needs verification. And crucially, it has to be confirmed that the vehicle is actually secured for shipment.
Ah, so multiple checks before the cash moves.
Precisely. And that mechanism right there, it shuts down some of the most common nasty fraud schemes in this whole cross-border car trade.
That's a huge safety net.
And connected to that financial safety is the legal side of things. Doing business internationally gets legally complicated fast.
Oh, yeah.
But MoldnFly apparently adheres strictly to U.S. legal framework compliance. They're licensed, regulated under U.S. law. They're accountable.
So not some fly-by-night setup.
That's the implication. For the buyer in Africa, this is massive. You're not dealing with some anonymous offshore entity that could just vanish.
You're dealing with a company bound by pretty strict consumer protection laws.
Right. Based in the U.S.
Okay, that accountability, though, it raises a question for me. If they're all about absolute certainty, mandated compliance, using licensed escrow, operating under U.S. rules, and they're specializing in sourcing from authorized dealer partnerships, doesn't that make the cars more expensive? Compared to someone grabbing deals from, say, open markets or salvage auctions.
Yeah.
How do they square absolute trust with being competitive on price? It feels like there has to be a trade-off.
That's definitely the core tension, isn't it? The sources suggest the way they frame it is shifting the calculation. It's not about minimizing the purchase price necessarily.
Okay.
It's about minimizing the total financial risk. Yes, the car might cost a bit more upfront than some, questionable unit you find online somewhere.
Right, the one that looks too good to be true.
Exactly. But the real cost saving comes from avoiding a total disaster. Avoiding buying a car with a hidden salvage title or secret flood damage, or worse, paying 20 grand for a car that just never shows up.
Avoiding the catastrophic loss.
That's the value proposition. Their partners, they mention names like Longo Toyota Lexus, Toyota DTLA. These places give them direct access to verified inventory, dealer-only auctions.
So you know the car's history is clean. No salvage yard surprises.
That seems to be the promise. The value isn't necessarily the cheapest sticker price, it's the elimination of that potential huge, costly mistake.
Okay, that makes sense. Trading maybe a small premium for, like, 100% certainty.
And that certainty gets reinforced by what looks like radical transparency and documentation.
How so?
Every deal comes with complete documentation. And we're not just talking basic shipping forms.
What else?
Guaranteed Carfax reports for history checks, the full purchase invoices right from the dealership, transparent logistics paperwork, everything.
Wow.
Their operating principle seems to be essentially, you see everything we see. Total openness.
Okay, managing all that paper, plus the real-time financial tracking. This has got to lean heavily on technology, right?
Absolutely.
How do they manage all this information and get it smoothly to a customer who's thousands of miles away?
Well, this is where their platform architecture really comes into play. MoldnFly positions itself, quite explicitly it seems, as a tech company first that just happens to deal in cars.
Interesting. A tech company moving metal.
Right. And the whole system is designed to kill the traditional guesswork in this trade.
Okay, this is where it gets really interesting for me, especially around speed and visibility.
Yeah.
Because the old way, you wait days, maybe weeks for a shipping quote.
Or just an update on where your car is.
Yeah. So how does MoldnFly tackle that?
It seems they use two core digital services built on a pretty advanced API setup. First, instant quote generation.
Instant. How?
Well, it's not just simple math. It sounds like it involves real-time integration with shipping lines, customs, tariff databases, local regulations, their internal pricing.
So it pulls all that together on the fly.
Apparently, buyers get an accurate all-in quote in minutes, not days or weeks. That speed, that transparency up front, it must drastically cut down decision time and boost confidence.
No more pricing black boxes. I like that. What's the second service?
That speed is matched by total visibility through real-time tracking.
Okay, beyond just a tracking number.
Yeah, this isn't just an occasional email saying it's on the water. The platform integrates logistics data across the whole chain.
From where to where?
From the moment it leaves the U.S. dealer lot, through trucking inland, port handling, the actual ocean voyage, customs in Africa, the whole journey.
So the buyer knows exactly where their car, their big investment is at any given time.
Continually updated, that's the goal.
That visibility alone must be huge for peace of mind.
Definitely. And then the digital infrastructure itself acts as the sort of unified command center for everything.
Pulling it all together.
All the search tools, all the documents we talked about, the payments, the shipping coordination, it's all managed in one secure, central, online place.
Which ensures comprehensive documentation management. That's crucial with all the cross-border compliance stuff.
Exactly. Your entire transaction history, all the paperwork, is accessible anytime, anywhere, regardless of time zones.
Okay, but you mentioned something. The most sophisticated tech piece. The thing that really makes them seem like a data company.
Yes. That would be their use of data-driven market intelligence. This seems to be the kind of subtle engine driving a lot of the value.
Market intelligence, what does that mean in this context?
Well, think about the volatility.
Right.
Especially currency fluctuations between the U.S. dollar and, say, the Nigerian naira. That's a massive risk factor.
It's huge. Exchange rates can kill a deal.
Right. So they aren't just looking at the price of a specific Toyota on a Tuesday. They're monitoring broader pricing trends, predicting potential shipping delays or bottlenecks.
Okay.
And crucially, analyzing those exchange rate movements.
So they can advise the buyer.
By tracking all these external factors, it seems they can advise the buyer on the optimal time to actually pull the trigger on the purchase to maximize value.
Wow, so hedging against unexpected cost spikes from market shifts.
Exactly. It moves them beyond just being a transactional broker. They become more like a strategic financial advisor for this specific high-value purchase.
That's another layer of protection, protecting
Yeah.
the capital itself, not just the car.
Precisely.
Yeah.
And if you step back and look at the whole picture, this model is really trying to solve a systemic, deep-rooted problem using, well, institutional level technology and regulation. It creates this really robust structure.
So if we were to boil it down for you, the listener, the key differentiator here,
Hmm.
it feels like MoldnFly isn't asking for your trust.
No.
They've built a framework, regulatory, technological jewel that basically forces trust into every single step. Trust isn't just a feeling here, it's like a mandated protocol.
Yeah, enforced by escrow, U.S. laws, transparent data.
Right.
And the real value proposition, the transformation, is taking what's often been a very informal, high-risk, decentralized kind of deal and turning it into a professional, secure, confident purchasing experience. It's using accountability and tech to scale that confidence globally.
Which brings us to our final thought for you to mull over. This level of detail they go into to build trust oversees the mandatory escrow, sticking strictly to U.S. compliance for international sales, only using specific authorized dealers.
It's a lot.
It really is.
Mm-hmm.
Does this incredibly rigorous structure, does it maybe set a new minimum standard? A required baseline for all global e-commerce involving high-value goods?
Is this just the cost of doing business now if you genuinely want to promise and deliver absolute peace of mind across borders?
It's something to think about, isn't it?
Definitely.
So if you're considering this, ready to experience secure vehicle import, start your escrow-protected journey today.
And the material specifically says, click the Get Free Consultation button below to get started. It's very easy.
There you have it.
And we'd encourage you, keep exploring this idea of engineering trust. You know, taking these systemic problems and tackling them with clear, mandated protocols. Where else could that apply?
Good question. Industry suffering from low transparency, maybe.
Could be anywhere.
Well, thanks for joining us for this deep dive into how tech and regulation might just redefine confidence in global trade.
Fascinating stuff.
See you next time.